showtime, folks.
Well, that's a great question. A tester has to be someone who can be dispassionate about the game.
Someone who's here to make video games better.
One who goes inside the depth of a game to find problems.
Try weird things, try to find new bugs if possible.
And dissect this game from beginning to end.
The tester is a very unique individual. Someone, in a broad sense, who analyzes.
Play the same thing over and over and over. It's very monotonous.
He's committed and devoted and intelligent. He can
do the things that an old person wouldn't typically do and find out if it's still going to hold together.
Yes, but also he has to be somebody who can say, hey, you know, this thing is just no fun.
And sometimes they might find something quite by accident.
When you're testing a game, you're looking to break it.
To find ways to make the game better.
We have a very important job, no question about it.
6th, 1996. A mysterious explosion destroys the Chernobyl research facility near Moscow. Lucifer Alpha, a powerful biological weapon under secret development there, is released into the atmosphere, creating a deadly biohazard. Carried by the trade winds, Lucifer Alpha spreads throughout Eastern Europe and Eurasia, destroying 80% of the populace. Half of the world's people die. The greatest biohazard in history later becomes known simply as the catastrophe. But at this time, who could have possibly imagined that the ultimate biohazard wouldn't occur for another half-century? 50 years later, mankind faces its greatest crisis: the appearance of a mysterious android life form. Its purpose and origin are unknown. Is it a new form of weapon? Or perhaps an invasion from some other world? They appear during winter, killing humans and infiltrating society by taking the place of their victims. Employing an artificial skin, they can sweat and even bleed. Part organic, part machine, they're almost impossible to distinguish from those they kill. As they steal their victims' bodies in order to take their place, these mysterious invaders become known as Snatchers.
How was work? Everything okay?
Gillian, what is it? What's wrong?
Jamie, I've become a junker.
A junker? Gillian, but why?
Jamie, you know why. It's the only way we can regain our lost memories. Snatcher is the only word that keeps coming back every time we try to remember our pasts. I have to face them to find out why.
Yes, but I can sense that there is something terrible hidden in our past. And if we remember it, it will destroy us.
Jamie! I'm going now. Jamie!
What? I can't hear you!
Gillian Seed, estimated age 31. 3 years ago, he and his wife Jamie Seed are taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. Both Gillian and Jamie suffer from severe amnesia, their memories of events prior to being picked up in Siberia lost in a mysterious mental fog. 2 years ago, after a vain attempt to rebuild their marriage, Jamie and Gillian separate. Following extensive special military training, Gillian is ordered to report to Neo-Kobe City as a junker, effective today.
This is an instrument. It cannot play music by itself. With practice and training by someone, beautiful music can be heard. Without practice and training, you can only produce sounds. The same is true for your other natural talents, like running, nurturing, and using your psychic abilities. Your psychic abilities are a basic part of you. They're already within you. They're as natural to you as breathing. With practice and training, you can also develop your own special psychic talents to bring harmony, beauty, and success into your life. Hi, I'm Litany Burns. Just like a coach or music teacher or guide, I'll help you discover your own natural psychic talents and use them. You use these talents every day without even thinking. With practice, you can develop and use them anytime and anywhere.
Okay, I think we're good to go.
There are 8 different types.
I just wanted to let Snatcher play out because that shit is ripe. Sup, guys? When you want a 24-hour stream, when you're not getting one, actually, I mean, I guess out of any time that could ever happen, now would be the time. But I don't feel like it, man. What's the point? You guys really just want to see, like, oh boy, it's already getting stuttery. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Shit. I was foolish enough to tab out. Destiny 2 is a little particular. Hold on a second. I think I know I can fix this. Destiny 2 is a little particular in how you stream it. I found the exact right combination of options, and I didn't write it down. So I forgot. You playing alone or with someone? I don't know, John. It remains to be seen. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Yeah, wait. Okay, hold on. It looks better now. I think I got it. You bored of it yet? No. It's very well made. It's very well made. It's a good looter shooter. I haven't played it. I mean, I played through it on console and I stopped. And now I'm playing through it on PC and it's gorgeous. So that's enough for me to play through it again. Herb Toker says, I don't get to see you stream much, but I just want to say, really enjoy your content and seem like a great dude. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Hello, Broccoli. Julian from Twitch. Yeah, we've all got different names now, huh? I had to switch from... I had to go to windowed full screen to stream. That was the only problem I ran into streaming it. Yeah, there's that. For me, I also had to, like, set the VSync to 60 FPS so that it would match with OBS. So the frame rates would lock together and it wouldn't start getting choppy.
Spiraling complexity.
This guy's a damn pud.
Their simulations are potentially limitless.
Also, I have bumped up the bitrate on the stream yet again. So now I'm shoving 25 megabit to YouTube. Ow. Which is pretty absurd. If you can watch it at 1080p, it should look pretty good for you.
I don't care. Has a plan to attack the so-called Almighty. A plan unsupported by any data. However,
Shut up, nerd.
there are remnants of an old interplanet.
Shut up, nerd.
Yes, yes.
Halo Destiny 2 is locked at 30 FPS on consoles, which is kind of dumb in 2017. 60 looks so beautiful. Consoles are old. So here, maybe it's kind of easy to forget sometimes, but
Staring at my arm.
so Destiny 1.
Now.
Destiny 1 was programmed for. Man, I'm getting some weird tearing on my monitor. It doesn't look like it's showing up in OBS, which is really funky. I'm wondering if it has to do with because I turned VSync on. Let me try something. Let me try something real quick. Be back to that in just a second. I had to turn off. I turned off G-Sync, but turned VSync on because I know that those can fight with each other. So maybe if I launch it again, it'll be all pretty now. You got a high refresh monitor. One problem I don't have. Yeah, Chris, it's funny. And this is like the PC. This has been the PC problem, not problem really, but the cycle for years is that, and this is why some PC gamers get a little tore up. You spend a lot of money on a peripheral that can theoretically do a very cool thing, except due to the open nature of the PC, not everything supports that very cool thing. So then you spend hours and hours getting it working, downloading like third-party drivers, configuring and tweaking. Actually, speaking of configuring and tweaking, looks like my webcam is deciding to change its focus a bit. Autofocus, always on. Thanks. Thanks, Logitech. Thanks for not remembering my settings ever. Appreciate that. Homeboy. Alright. I think we good now. I think we good. Got a new mouse. Got a wireless mouse. Ugh. I always went wired because I was like, no! My mouse must have the highest refresh rate. And I think this wireless mouse is even smoother. It's weird, like, with PC stuff, I'll get a peripheral that I like, and I'll be like, there, it's done. I've got the mouse that I'll always ever need. And then time goes by and shit gets better, and I just forget to check in to see if anything is updated. But yes, Broccoli says Destiny 1 was built on last-gen consoles, so it makes sense. They already had the engine going, so they could have improved on it. It's not such a big deal to me, but once I have a PC built. So the thing is, they did improve on it, though. Destiny 2 looks so much better than Destiny 1, even at 30 FPS. Yeah, this is great, though. I'm not getting the tearing anymore. Fuck me. Look at how pretty this shit is. Look at how pretty it is! PC first world problems, yeah, Chris. That absolutely. That's why I don't let myself get upset when not everything locks together. But when it does, fuck me. So, oh yeah, I should look at this rifle. It's a special rifle. It's a special rifle. Oh no, wait, this is a special. Alright, black hole. Yeah, that's right. Stream does look good on 1080? Great. It's still a little washed out. When I watch back the VOD, it's like, the colors aren't as crisp. It's got a fuzz to it. I don't really know how to fix that. There might be, like... Hello. There might be some in-bank encoding tweaks I can make. Shit. This gun makes a whump every time you fire. Woof! Makes them explode into a black hole every time you kill somebody with this gun. Hey. So yes, Destiny 2, they did improve it, even on console. But, at this point, the PS4 and the Xbox One are kind of last-gen systems. They came out in 2013, 4 years ago. And that's why we have the PS4 Pro and the One X. Because those are ostensibly the next consoles, although now it's kind of getting fuzzy. Which I think is good, but that also makes it more PC-like. What's up, JGM? Welcome. How long have you been streaming? 20 minutes, and I want to say half of that was intro stuff. The Snatcher intro was long. Off topic already, but I got hired to edit my first short film. Do you have any advice for syncing the audio and video? If you're editing a short film, they should know how to do that. Unless it's an extremely junior short film, which is fine. Does the game sound a bit loud? I can turn it down. Yeah, it is probably a little loud whenever combat kicks up. That should be a little better. Okay, synchronization. So what you need is a definite and sharp video action to tie to a very identifiable audio action. There's a reason why we clap. Bam. So the thing is, when you pull in the audio waveform and it generates your peak file, you can see the spike in the middle of nothing. So there's silence, bang, and then nothing. So when you're just visually looking at the waveform, you can see all this garbage and then a one giant vertical line. That's a synchronization point. And then you set your marker there, you set your marker when the hands meet in video, and suddenly you have a synchronized timeline. Have you ever wondered why movies do the, like, scene one, take one, clack? They do the clacker? That's why. Synchronized audio and video. Do you think kids should not be allowed to buy loot boxes? JGM, I went through a pretty, I had a pretty long and exhaustive discussion about loot boxes on a previous stream, so I'm not gonna retouch on everything, because yeah, you kind of hit on the point, right? Is like, is it predatory to allow kids to experience this stuff? Fuck me, look at that. Look at it. What's that up there? Space rock. And then this cool thing. Jesus. Anyway, I think it's okay, because theoretically kids get money from their parents, and their parents should be the ones teaching and educating them about it.
Typical Titan idiocy. I'm sure he thought, Gaul has a sun destroyer.
For every time you say loot box, think about it like a carnival game. It's a game of chance to win a prize. You pay money to play, but you don't win money in return, so it's not gambling. It's like a crane game. And much like a crane game, it can be set up to be deceptively easy to win. That's not illegal either, because it's still buyer beware, you know? The player, the buyer, is trusted to be savvy enough to not get suckered in to an experience that is designed to take money from them. So in the way that you don't regulate or illegalize, another word, I guess we're just regulation basically. And the way that you don't regulate crane games, why would you regulate loot boxes? Theoretically the same thing. To be frank, I think the core of it, it's cool to, it's fine to hate loot boxes. Totally fine. It's fine to not like what they do for games, or what they've done to the games you enjoy. All that's fine. What's not fine, logically speaking, is to go from, I don't like loot boxes, to start making weird connections to how illegal they are, or how damaging they are to the world. Imagine credit card operated crane games? They have those, man. Lobsters? Yeah. When's the last time you played a crane game? Go to any Japanese arcade, and typically you will have a... What do you want me to do up here? Oh.
Found another drill. This one's big.
Oh, there's a drill.
Really big.
Basically you have like a point card. You load the card up with points, and then you swipe the card. It's just like buying tickets at a carnival. It's everything. The parallels are so familiar that it's hard to not make apples-to-apples comparisons there. And when you think about it that way, then again, it's really hard to make a case for this should be regulated or otherwise controlled. Because isn't personal responsibility the name of the game here? Some of this stuff really confuses me sometimes. I'm like, I know it's not, or rather, I tell myself it's not the exact same people. But sometimes I wonder, the fucking armchair libertarians that are like, personal responsibility, no safe spaces. Are these also the people that are saying loot boxes are bad and illegal and the government needs to take them away? You don't get to have both. You are either a grown-ass adult person that can decide to stop buying loot boxes, or you believe in a nanny state. Or you're just arguing for the exact thing you want and exactly the way you want it. And you're coming up with all these reasons to mask that. I'm saying you arguing against some straw man at this point, you know. For me, the loot box system is suitable for children. However, the CSGO system has a way for kids to get money from said skins, and thus is actually a way to gamble. Run and Gun, you bring up an excellent point. With the Steam market, there is a direct monetary value associated with those things. And Daedalus, did we have this combo last night? Yeah, we did. I mean, I disclaimed as much. I didn't want to run through the whole thing again. But yeah, you're right. In terms of Steam items, then... So if you're going to say that loot boxes are like a crane game, then Steam raffles items that have real money value are similar to the way that Japan circumvents their regulation against gambling. In Japan, you may win a crane game, and you may win, I don't know, a Hello Kitty pencil. Maybe that Hello Kitty pencil has a piece of tape on it with a number on it. And that's your prize. It's a pencil with a piece of tape on it. And maybe you take that piece of tape around the corner into a shop that just so happens to really want to buy pencils with tape on them. And if that number happens to correspond to the price they buy that pencil for, that's just an odd coincidence. And since that shit's illegal, it's usually the Yakuza who's like bankrolling that stuff, so... Yes, Steam is getting into weird places. Especially when there's gambling, or especially when there's games of chance, and especially when fucking people who own the services that profit off that don't disclaim it and advertise it to children. That is a big fucking problem that everyone just kind of walked away from. So that's cool. It's hard for me to take gamer rage seriously when they'll flutter so quickly from one outrage to the next. And the actual stuff, the actual law-breaking, immoral stuff gets forgotten quickly. Everyone all mad about fucking legal DMCAs. Now, I guess that came and went real quick. The Campo Santo thing. Herder, you can't do that to our guy. He said racist things and likes Pepe. Therefore, he's our champion. What you gonna do? Hey, Brendan. I'm pretty good. Oh, that reminds me. I am about to enjoy a little bit of, this Anheuser-Busch? Yeah, sure, whatever. Anheuser-Busch Steel Reserve. It wouldn't be reserved if it weren't way better than everything else. So I'm going to partake of that beautiful reserve. You sound like Rachel Maddow. I'm sorry. Or thank you? I'm not sure how to interpret that. Ah. Oh. Okay, okay, no, I can do this. Ugh. The fucking, like, the malt liquors just taste like shitty beer with more alcohol added. Oh. The thing is, actually, I'm kind of like light beer. I'm getting into pilsners and kolsch's and stuff, but... Ooh. I'm getting fucked up tonight. Mr. Jones, I think I am. I think I am. But I need to pace myself. It's going to be a slow burn. I got beer. I got wine. I got everything. I got everything a man could want. No, I got, and I have energy drinks, so, you know. Listen to rambling while I do VFX worse and drink a Guinness? Yes, man. Yes, man. Or woman. Whatever. Doesn't reserve have a pretty high alcohol content for a malt? 8. I mean, it is designed to fuck you up. Sort of. I mean, on the cheap. It's not gonna really fuck you up. It's not like a... It's not like one of the sugary, I guess, would you even call them malts? The fucking Mike's Harders, on up to the Four Locos, the Buzz Balls, what have you. Steel Reserve is garbage in your eyes? Danky, Steel Reserve is garbage. I am not drinking it because I like it. I'm drinking it because I was at the convenience store and I was like, essentially, my experience with tall boys that are like just shit tall boys is I'll forget what it tastes like and then get it. It's a recurring mistake I make. You a Scotch guy? I'm becoming a Scotch guy. I am learning the value and delight of having a small amount of sipping Scotch, like in the evening. If I have calories for it. Like if I in the day and I have like maybe 50 to 100 calories left, I'll pour like maybe a half shot or something like that, and I'll just sip on it while I'm like watching a TV show or something. It's really nice. And I kind of got more into the habit because I read a study that basically said drinking a little is better than drinking nothing. Like over the course of a study.
Ascendant realm readings in spades here.
What are you talking about? Ascendant realm.
This could be another one of those weird portals.
Did you think, little ghost guy? Did you get this game for free or did you pay for it? Kinson, that's complicated. I did not get it for free. I did pay for it. But I did not pay full retail because my girlfriend works for Blizzard. And Blizzard is part of the company that is Activision, which published this game. So she was able to use her employee discount on it. That said, I did buy it in full-on console, for what that's worth. So I've basically bought this game 1.5 times. If that gets me any gamer cred. But no, for real though, I've actually this fall received, like, I guess I got connected with PR at the right time, because I actually have gotten a good handful of stuff for free. Do all Blizzard employees get to go to BlizzCon? Linky, all Blizzard employees work BlizzCon. So in that regard, yes, they get to go, but I think pretty much it's all hands on deck for that event. Ow. Damn it. Cool. 5 orbs of light! That's like a new best for me. It's so weird, man. I was a warlock in Destiny 1. I actually really liked it. And now Destiny 2's out. I played a Titan on console, and I just had to go back. Had to do it. It just felt right. I mean, I tried Hunter 2. Wasn't really feeling it. John, why did I speak like a laptop? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. That was because around 2012, kind of saw the writing on the wall at Machinima. I was like, this is not going well. Or that money wasn't flowing like it used to. Was kind of the big thing. And so I kind of looked around, looked at what was going on, looked at who was perceived as valuable, and I definitely wasn't, because I was like writing staff on the Inside Gaming blog. And I had pretty much told myself that if there's ever a squeeze, I'm going to be one of the ones that goes. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I don't see career here, because nobody really, like, what I do isn't important. So I talked with my then girlfriend, and we agreed to move back to Texas, and that's what I did in 2012. So I worked remotely. Then the layoffs hit in 2013, and I was like, yeah, that sucks, but I kind of saw that one coming. But the layoffs kind of allowed... There was a reorganization. That's when Bruce and James started working on Inside Gaming. And the whole while, when I was remote, I was still doing script writing for Inside Gaming Daily. And then Bruce would basically call me in every morning. So I'd basically write a script. Being in Central Time, I was actually 2 hours ahead, so I could get up at like 9, have a script ready for them when they got into the office. And then we do a Skype call, where shut up. I basically talk them through the script. Like, here's the story, here's the thing. If they had any questions, I'd answer them, just to make sure. I always thought it was meant to be a joke. It became one, but I was working remotely. So, after a while, Bruce was... as I remember it, and I think our accounts differ, but as I remember it, there was an episode where they forgot to hang up on me. Because usually we would just talk about it, they'd be like, okay, we got it, thanks man, and then they'd hang up and record the episode. And then I'd go on with my day, like writing about foot conditions or construction equipment or whatever freelance writing gigs I could pull off the internet. But anyway, yeah, one day Bruce forgets to hang up. I hear them doing the read. And I'm quiet, because like, I don't want to fuck it up. But I'm just like, I've never... This is kind of fun. I'll just sit around. I'll let them know after they get done recording, like, hey, I'm still here. And then they're, like, reading the story, but they get something wrong. I think they say a name wrong, or they get a date wrong or something, and I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I can't just let them do that. So I actually, like, was hollering on Skype. I was like, hey, wait. You actually got that wrong. And then Bruce was like, whoa! And he was like, oh, well, thank you. He was, like, really appreciative. And then the next day, Bruce was like, hey, why don't you just stay on? Just stay on the call. And then, so it kind of started with me just being a fact checker on the call while they record the episode. And then I think Bruce saw potential there and started actually like talking and making that part of the show. And that's where that came from. What are you going to be doing in San Fran? Huh? Me? I'm going to San Francisco. Any of the Funhouse crew play this with you? They're going to, yeah. Actually, speaking of. No, it's not that. Tab. Yes. Nobody's on. Nobody's on right now. Only a hometown friend. I should probably play with him. But I think he's like max level and stuff. That's when it gets a little weird. I don't even know that I can run strikes. Give me that phase glass. I'll have your Skype profile pic. Yeah, me too. That was actually drawn by a friend. I was throwing a house, well, an apartment party. I guess that's just a party. And at some point during the night, I like wrapped a blanket around my back and was wearing it like a cape. Oh yeah, it was a 90s party. So, okay. So I had like a sweater tied around my waist. I was wearing a vest over a button-up shirt.
What's a warbine? Exactly.
And then at some point I like just tied a cape around my neck. So that's where all the elements of that drawing come from. There was a photo of me like waving my hand like Julius Caesar while holding a red Solo cup in my hand and wearing all that ridiculous clothes. I guess I guess everyone just saw the picture, the face. No one else saw the rest of it. So I'm just talking about dumb shit now. Nah, come on, Steel Reserve. Observer, coding mainly, but do some callboy stuff on the side. Is this your, how you pay the bills? That's a pretty cool line of work, I gotta admit. You're basically like a modern-day romantic. Coding by day, satisfying the ladies by night. God, that looks so fucking pretty. Hold on a second, though. I gotta change that. Nope. Don't want to be that guy, but can we get some subtitles? Sure. Sure you can. Wherever they happen to be. I am 100% convinced you guys have already seen this option that I am just missing. Well, anyway, let me change this real quick. Super's Q. I've played too much Overwatch. Oops. More Destiny was expecting Wolfenstein. Well, it is downloading now. So I might start that tonight. I want to have, or rather I used to have a policy where I would try to not, is it under gameplay? Accessibility? Yeah, there we go, okay. I kind of don't, I feel a little off streaming, like, the beginning, or really any substantive amount of a story-based narrative game like Wolfenstein. To the extent that it convinces more people to buy it, I'm down, but... I definitely don't want to give the thing away, you know? Also, I feel like that's not the atmosphere to experience a game like that in. Either streaming or viewing. I can see if you've played it yourself and you want to see how somebody else reacts to something, I can see the Twitch experience being valuable there. What's my light level? I mean, it's not good. 135. I'm just, I'm playing through the game again, you know? Doing the whole routine again. I finished it on Xbox. I got to level 20, I don't know what my light level is on that, but I didn't do like any of the post-game stuff. I did a few strikes, but that was it. Hey. For manga or anime? Anime. I don't really read much manga. Although manga you can get through faster. I was talking to James, I was like, man, how can you read that much manga? And he was like, actually, it's way more efficient. If there's just filler, or if there's like nothing going on, you can just sort of skim, read ahead. I was like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense. Did you get your Sparrow? No, I don't know how. So that's the weird thing. Somebody else was telling me that you get a Sparrow once you finish the game. Oh, oops. I thought you had to jump down there. But I finished on Xbox. It didn't hand me a Sparrow unless there's just some NPC I need to talk to. Didn't James fan of manga? I don't know if he's a fan, but he's current on One Piece. He likes One Piece, for sure.
This will be rich. I will
Hey,
ask
Blizzy.
Zavala, can you tell me in Zettajoules the Almighty
So yeah,
expected to
you
start
brought up
the
that this game is really pretty.
and you will say, no, Asher, I cannot, because
I
am
think,
a reckless fool.
and I don't say this often, Destiny's worth playing just because it's so fucking gorgeous. Look at this hallway. Look at the color range is gorgeous. It's so, like, you might see and be like, what do you mean, man? It's orange. Like, no, it's so hard to make live, fully lit things look like this. It doesn't happen by accident. You can make a picture look like this, but you have to describe all the math that makes the lighting work like this. And it's so impressive. Ah, it's so good. Can my character look pretty as well? Yes. Destiny's color palette always looks so good. It's on another level with Destiny 2. There was, like, Destiny 1 had some stuff. Some missions were cool, some raids were cool. Destiny 2, it's everything. And, like, it looks much more consistent, more even. Hello, AKA Buckets. Do you have a running gag about One Piece on Inside Gaming? Not that I recall. That doesn't mean it wasn't there. That was weird. I thought it was kind of weird that they put the Taken back in. But whatever, man. I guess variety is variety, quote unquote. God damn. Don't shoot me! Oh, he shot me. No endgame. Rebecca Full, I don't know. What? That seems so unfair. It's a game you cannot play forever, so you shouldn't pay $60 for it. I don't know what it is. Something changed at some point. Somehow people stopped being okay with paying $60 for an experience and that experience ending at some point. Now it's like if a game doesn't last forever, it's not worth money. I think Destiny 2, in its campaign, I think the campaign is pretty enough to justify playing through it. Look at this fucking thing. This crazy ass, like, computer core with all the blinking screens and stuff. There are so many areas you move through in Destiny 2 that are absolutely dreamlike. I think that's worth the money. I think that's worth $60. I can see why somebody might... I guess I can see why somebody might not think that. But I think that's kind of like... It's a weird conditioning that happens. The game portends to be the last thing you'll ever need for video gaming.
Reconnecting to the Warmind network to begin a remote.
So you start to judge it against those standards.
Yes. We can see the connection coming online.
The Eurogamer, after completing the story, the old tower will be rebuilt. Head down to the hangar once you're there and talk to Amanda Holiday. Okay, I guess I didn't do that. At least I got them. Come in for that hot blue. Oh, that's a sword. Where you at, big guy? Miss. And again, certainly no shade thrown if you are dissatisfied with your purchase. I just... kind of along the lines of other stuff. And I'm not putting words in your mouth, Manifold, but... It's always weird to me when people talk about a game like it's a failure or that it's missing something, and they're like, yeah, I only played it for like 200 hours. And then I ran out of stuff to do. What other game can you play for 200 hours and feel... I don't know. I don't know. Shit. We gotta move. I remember this fight being pretty tough. Here, try Warframe. A little bit. I didn't get into it much. I mean, it's like looter shooter type stuff. I like those games, but not enough to play like a free-to-play version of it. 40 hours of campaign does not a $60 purchase make. Okay. Okay. Your standards are obviously a lot different. I don't know. What games do you buy? Do you only buy games you can play for more than 40 hours? Because you're missing out on some amazing games, but you're allowed to make that decision with your money. That is a bit tragic and short-sighted. Also, like, do you ever watch movies? Because the time per hour. Oh, MMOs. Okay. Yep. You can definitely pile a lot of your life into an MMO. That is true. I feel like people want to be immersed, and that immersion ending when a game is done is probably something they avoid. Oh, I guess you're right. Maybe that. Yeah. Part of that frustration is I wanted to live in that world more, and now I don't have an excuse to. I can see that. Buy AT for $60? Oof. Well, that's what it was, man. $60 for a shitty knockoff of Pac-Man. Or a shitty knockoff of Space Invaders. Wow. Thing is, too, any MMO on launch is not going to have infinite things to do. And most of them have a sticker price. But yeah, if you compare it to something like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, I guess for the dollar, it's going to have less content. Wow, dog, this fight ruined me and you're doing it in chatting? I've done it before, so that might be part of it. God, I love the sound design in this game. $60 for 40 hours is a good deal. Well, so not to sound like I'm just being contradictory, even though I kind of am. I believe that fully believe that that's a very relative statement. Not everybody has the same amount of money, you know. Not everybody likes the same kind of game. For me, 40 hours for $60, pretty solid, especially given the density or artistic quality of those 60 hours or 40 hours. Damn it. Shit. We gotta go. More ads spawned, didn't they? Yes, they did. There is also an aspect that playing on PC actually makes this game quite a bit easier. Because I can aim. CP9's talking about Nazis for Vice News. It gave me life. Yeah, right? I did see the clip. It's like poking the hive. It's like, who fucking cares? Let's poke it. I love that. P9's is such a cool fucking dude. Shit drives me up a wall. Man, you want to talk about fucking gamers being gamers with a capital G and a Z on the end. Going after my boy, Pete Hines, because they don't want to pay like $5 for a big titty mod. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. And what a selfish fucking argument to make. I don't want to pay people who want the tools to sell their hard work. I don't want to do that. So you take it away from them. I want to play this game for free forever. I want to play Skyrim and I want everything to be free all the time. Why would you be mad at a game company for providing a framework to charge for a mod, and not mad at the mod maker who now wants to earn money off of the mod he made or she made? Why? If the mod scene truly is a wonderful love-in where everybody shares ideas and everything is free, then the option to charge money shouldn't change anything, right? Unless the mod makers kind of do want a little return on all the work they put in. And now that they have the tools, they'll do that. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe if they made some money on it, they might be able to spend more time on it. There might be more of a reason for them to make bigger and better tit mods. But it's never about that. They'll say it's about that. It's not about that. People have always been dicks when it comes to exchanging money for art. Yeah, well said. Well said.
What?
Streaming this on my phone is rough. Yeah, you're gonna want to dial down the yeah. Damn it. Dial down the quality there. Ugh. Offhand grenade kill. He's very stylish. It wasn't intentional, but thank you. Anyway, I hope I wasn't coming off as whatever, man. Story. Hopefully, I wasn't coming or sounding too confrontational. What are you sipping on? Oh, Anheuser-Busch's Steel Reserve. Steel Reserve. Yeah, it's fighting back. It was let's see here. It's slow brewed for exceptionally smooth flavor. That's not really true. It has extra malted barley, extra malted, and select hops. They don't take all the hops, just the select ones, for extra gravity. So if you like throw a ball near this can, it'll start orbiting around it. The Brewing Steel Company, or the Steel Brewing Company. I don't know how to read that. Wait, this isn't Anheuser-Busch. Why do I keep saying that then? Oh, I'm sure it is though. It was like in that section of the store. Steelbrewing.com. The 211 mark, based on the medieval symbol for steel, appears only on Steel Reserve High Gravity Lager. We use nearly twice the ingredients of many normal lagers and brew for over twice as long as many quality beers. Twice the ingredients, twice as long. That's quality squared. It's like a four-dimensional can of... It's like a four-dimensional tall boy. It's a hyper boy. A hypercube of a tall boy. Saw the full Vice piece on it. It's 5 minutes. Very interesting and great. Has a bunch of dislikes. Weird. Weird. I gotta say, it is sobering and a little good to actually get a feel for how many just scared and lonely dudes there are out there. And I say that because I honestly wonder if all this shit were around at some point in my age. I don't think I would have gone full like Gamergate or Pepsi or Pepe, fucking 4chan poll Trump supporter. But I might have dabbled. There was a point in my life where I was sad and cowardly enough that message that like it's not your fault and we're working for a future where you don't really have to try all that hard, where that would have really resonated with me. The shifting of blame particularly is like so powerful. So powerful to dudes. Dudes is wrong. People that feel as though they're not getting what they thought they should. That like it's harder, it's different. I want this. Language is a flawed technology. Can't disagree. I want to use a sword. Comment section is a joy. Oh. Oh. Oh, gosh. Man. If you're coming to the defense of Nazis... And the thing is, it's like, no, I'm coming to the defense of free speech. Why should anything be censored? Well, bro, because you've never suffered in your life. You think you have, because you're lonely. That's fine. Say that. Instead of trying to change everything else. That's the thing. It's funny how it all kind of locks together, right? Why attack the people providing mod makers with the ability to earn money? Why not have it out with the mod makers? Because you want to arrange the system to your liking. And it's not about policy, it's about what you want, and how you can bend the system to match that. Just say that. But you can't, right? Because the second you do, you've lost your power. It has to be about something bigger. It has to be about something moral. It has to be about something objective. And then the dance of, I am going to approach you on intellectual and objective grounds, and I will make intellectual and objective statements. And me an intellectual, I'm hearing that being like, no, you're just going to complain. You're going to complain and thrash and say whatever you have to say. You're going to try to make a point, and then when you fail, you're going to pick apart my point, and then you're going to use a bunch of ad hominem bullshit. You're going to do that. Why don't you address this point that I made? Oh, well, you must not be addressing it because you know it's right. Therefore, I win. That video and Pete talking about Nazis legit got me even hyped for more Wolfenstein. Enzo, Wolfenstein 2 is a great... From what I've played so far, and I'm going to restart it on PC, but from what I've played so far, it's unnerving how... It's so tempting to say this game was specifically made for the issue, or for like the political issues of today, but it's more of a human issue. This shit happens on a cycle. It's frustrating, man. One generation grows up, they never learned or were never taught the horrors that happen when people just want to take. Is there a third-person view? Not for the game proper. There is when you whip out a sword. There is when you use your ult. There is when you like get a scorch cannon or you're in a tank, but I don't think you can go third-person when you're just gun shooting. I like it when people try to say that modders receive enough donations, like they donate to them. What a horrible argument to make. They don't need more money. They have enough. Like, the second you say that, you're already full of shit. You're not them. You can't speak for them. It's one of those you're inventing things. Inventing things so you don't have to spend money on things you don't want. There's that little guy. Hey, buddy. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. Oh, back to farm. Is this... I feel like I'm probably going to finish the game somewhat soon. What does that mean? What does this mean? Does that mean I have 3... I don't know. Yeah, Chorizo, that is a very No Man's Sky kind of level, for sure. Yes, Skio, you can whip out a sword whenever you want, provided that it's a you have it equipped. It's a power weapon now, so yeah. Did you visit Zur this week? No? Should I? I figured Zur wouldn't matter to me until I'm max level. COD World War II won't show swastikas and have black female German soldiers. Meanwhile, Wolfenstein has actual KKK members in the trailer. Yeah? How's that for censorship? That's just what I hear, man. I guess the term is technically but I just hear the guttural grunt of a lonely dude. Hate to be dismissive, man. Being lonely sucks, by the way. I went like I was just saying, I went through that. That like self-imposed loneliness, the external blaming. Can't be me. I'm too smart. Emotions are weak. I don't have those. Credit, you just finished Wolfenstein 2? Oh, wow, that's awesome. I have played it. I love it so far. It's kind of intense and it's a bummer. The text articles they put in the game, the editorials from newspapers and stuff that led to that world being like it is are a real bummer, because it's shades of what's being said now by some people that really mean that shit. And it's like, fuck. It really drives home that it's not so much about real evil people, it's about people that are willing to accept something that actually benefits them, even if it hurts someone else. They're willing to look the other way. It doesn't take a whole lot, actually, to prod them into doing it. And yeah, kind of what's going on. People that are arguing for that, and other people that aren't. Like, it hasn't come to it yet, but if it did, people that won't do everything in their power to prevent it from happening. Oh my god. Hope the day-night is treating you well. You finally playing this on PC? I am, Pyrite. Look at that buttery smooth frame rate. So buttery smooth. Yeah, slow and low. The best ambient lighting. You gotta credit Stephanie for that. My lovely girlfriend has a wonderful eye for aesthetic. Actually, I wonder. No, sadly the line of sight isn't quite there for it, but Stephanie got a neon. It's like an LED rope, but it looks really good. Neon sign. It's in Japanese. It looks so cool. Favorite Metal Gear game? Solid 3.
You give the signal, we move on the city.
Rocket launcher.
Gotta say,
armor.
I really didn't think you'd come back.
Helmy. Yeah, this is the last level, right? Shit, fuck it. I'll just finish it. I'll finish this game. Terrible Terabyte. Say thank you for the great content. Hope you have a good weekend. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think I will have a good weekend. Ha! Reader, thank you. Compliments I don't deserve, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Do you have knowledge to share?
Oh, we back together, Ikora.
It was devastating. We were careless.
Yeah, huh?
I was careless.
Yeah, huh?
I took my power. Be well.
3 challenges in any activity.
As of today,
Maybe it's a bad thing to say, but would World War II game play as a Nazi? There are games that have done that, I think. I can tell you, I don't think there's any game that portrays Nazis as good guys.
Yeah.
Because that's a fucking dumb thing to even do. Why would you do that? Does choosing your race affect your stats or have any special buffs? Not that I'm aware of. No. Oh yeah, he's still. Yeah, that's right. Blue caches. Yeah, don't need them. Seen the season of South Park? No, I'm actually crazy behind. And by crazy behind, I mean like season 2 or 3. It is. I want to watch the whole thing, just like catch up in a big way. How many different kinds of ships are there? I'd like to get something other than this little fucking cheese wedge. Will you go to BlizzCon this year? Yes, because Stephanie is getting to go. So, oh, they're like chill out places you can go when you rank up enough. That's cool. So, Kinson, dig this, man. Even though, so Stephanie's working the event, so she's gonna go, but I don't get to go for free. I got the luxury of buying a pass through her being an employee, but I still had to buy one. But that's the only way I'm getting to go, because they sold out. They always sell it like nearly immediately. Would trigger the world. Not all Germans were Nazis, yeah, but he was talking specifically about Nazis, so. I think you could do that if you really want to fucking play a video game where you're a dude working in goddamn I'm blanking on the name now. Fucking internment camp. Whatever. Let's say you're the guy who fucking pulls the lever for the gas chamber. That's the game. Why? What does the world gain? What? Other than letting you vicariously live out something that was incredibly cruel and horrible and one of humanity's lowest points. What would be the point? And that's when certain people go, well, you should make it because no one should get mad. And if they get mad, then that's the point. And that's just Auschwitz. Thank you, Herb. I don't know why I was blanking on that so hard. And that's a certain... What the fuck? It's just an empty room I can't go into. That seems weird. Anyway. The whole, like, oh, they're getting pissed off and that's why we do it. The whole just one-dimensional provocateur crap. That's what 6-year-olds do. When they don't think about their actions, they just get a response. Therefore, the response justifies the action. People... Maybe that's your performance art or whatever, but most adults tend to base their actions on, like, what is valuable to people, what is valuable to the world, what will... I mean, not everyone thinks this way or should care, or should, you know, but, like, what would help even somebody for a little bit? And just doing something because you can, and because it pisses someone off. You're just an asshole. And they'll be there. They'll be there. Assholes also love telling themselves they're doing it for their greater good. I'm challenging their thoughts. I'm forcing them to be strong in their beliefs. Sure. Hand cannons are strong. So, Ophelia, I'm curious about hand cannons. It seems to me that if DPS is all equal, you would want the gun to fire as many rounds as possible. Because let's think about, like, let's say there's a hand cannon. It can kill an enemy in 2 hits. But the first hit does like 80% damage. And then bang, you shoot it again and it dies. That's a lot of like wasted damage. And you have a lower like fire rate. So essentially you like have lost time and damage, whereas if you had a clip with 30 rounds in it, you stop shooting as soon as it's dead, and then you go shoot something else. It makes it so you have to reload more often and deal damage less evenly. Now, you might get higher DPS on like a large singular boss or something like that, but I wonder for hand cannons. It doesn't seem as efficient as dealing with lots of small enemies. But yeah, Linky, I just think back to Spec Ops: The Line, where you did Evil Acts without knowing it. That this is completely different. So it's not entirely different. The Line was great because it oh, patrols. It was commentary on games culture. That you are the hero. When the game tells you to do something, it's a heroic action, and you shouldn't have to question it or even worry about like free will. And in the same way, it pulled a similar trick that BioShock pulled, which is commentary on the lack of free will in the game. But Spec Ops was beautiful because it inverted the assumption that as the main character you're the hero, and that all of your actions are justified in reverse because you're the hero. That by just following orders you can still commit an atrocity, and that's still your fault. Which was great. Now that is something that has value. And yes, perhaps you can make a game where you play as a Nazi who is a good German boy who grew up doing what he was told and joined the Nazi army because his friends told him it was for the good of Germany and all Germans. And then at some point he realizes, oh wait, shit, this is horrible. Maybe that's a narrative that would get people thinking, but the provocateur would just say, why should he do that? Why are we forcing the narrative that Nazis are bad on people? Why don't we just tell a story and let them come to their own conclusions? Meanwhile, the legit truth is, you just want to make a product that appeals to the sociopaths in the world and gives them, like, lets them inoculate themselves against the idea that genocide was fucking bad. Kind of like a rogue stormtrooper? Yeah. Hitler Youth rebelling against his superiors? Maybe. It's not that games or media have a responsibility to be morally just, because I don't think that's true. I just think that good media has a point. And good media, the point should not be, let's do as fucked up as shit as we can. That happened in the 70s, man. If you want to watch garbage activity... Why is activity... Oh, 15. Damn. If you want to watch snuff films and shit... Like, do that! Be honest with yourself. That's the thing that frustrates me, man. There's so many just shitty people who refuse to really look in the mirror. Whatever. Like I said, I was one. I was one of them. I literally just walked through that section. The one I'm in right now? Anyway. I'm ranting too much. This is pointless. I don't typically like... I don't like my streams to just be me complaining about things. I'm just frustrated with historical accuracy in games, that's it. Well, games are entertainment. They're not meant to be historically accurate. And there are games that strive for historical accuracy. But I think the core thing to realize, or the core thing to probably remind yourself of is, people probably don't want historical accuracy if they're trying to be entertained. Which is the point, after all. Too many frames, too little Nazis. 9 out of 10. Are you saying that you're into some fucked up shit, or were? Oh, no, neither. More that I had a series of assumed beliefs that were incredibly self-centric and self-serving. And I would often make a lot of decisions and make a lot of evaluated statements without realizing that they were all incredibly self-centered. Like, I would do the thing where I try to justify, oh, I want free games, and then work backwards from that to construct some kind of argument that was a little more justified than, I just want free games. Oh shit. Those guys have a lot of health. Are there skulls? Yeah, come and get it, boys. How are you liking Destiny 2? I like it a lot, John. It's I mean it is the game it is. That's for sure. It's never not going to be Destiny, but it's getting better and better at being Destiny. So there you go. There's my dissertation. Get out of here, dreg. Historic is nice, but it shouldn't be a requirement. Yeah. You saying you pirated games? Sure. There was an era where I did. I don't know what boost is on keyboard. Oh, there we go. Right click. Haha. Destiny is safe for pikes. It's better just say you're a piece of shit. Don't try to justify it. I guess there's that, yeah. We're talking accuracy in games, historical, just realism. Any thoughts about Escape from Tarkov? Oh, I haven't. Haven't played it. I'm not even sure I know what it is. Alright, well, let me see here. I might do a strike or two and then just move on to the next game. Piracy is something I'm guilty of as well. I still justify it to some extent. I guess credit. It's good that you're able to say that. Not a lot of people can. It's interesting that you know you justify it, but you still do it. But I guess the good news is there's still some guilt there, so you're not... Oof. Woof. Okay. Complete 2 strikes. I can do that. Then I'll get some gear. Actually, let me see. Are there any bros on? This is exactly when. I need my bros on. Nope. Just... Shit, man. They were in the office talking about how we were gonna play Destiny. Think there will be more talking stocks to come? How is that show even produced? We let James do whatever he wants. And with the last one, I didn't do much. I just tried to enable him to use the set and then like let him know that he had more to use and that we could throw a lot of cool stuff at it. Rebecca Awful. I do have Assassin's Creed Origins. It's not downloaded though. And I have it on Xbox, which means when I try to download it, it's going to download as fast as it can, which is pretty fast. But there's this weird thing that happens when for my internet, whenever I try to download something, oh, 15, whatever. Recharge your grenade. I haven't done that yet. Whenever I basically max out my bandwidth, certain things stop working. Like, the download will keep going, but then I can't look up websites, I can't, like... It's basically DNS requests fail. No, dynamic name server requests. So certain things just stop working. So I'm not sure that I would be able to continue streaming while it downloads. Actually, since it's an active data transfer, it'd probably be fine. Oh man, Joe Mac, I used GIMP for... Or, sorry, Skio. I used GIMP for years. So yeah, I'm not convinced... Oh, I should make sure that I think my voice chat's on push to talk. I don't want to blow these guys out with my rambling. Whatever, who cares? Make sure. Okay.
Operation Caliban. Welcome to the show.
Void attacks, power weapon.
Missing beneath the arcology. We got
Using
one
bloom.
report a few hours
Alright.
back, but it's been radio silent since then.
Your Pugs is here, man, talking to himself. Yeah. Poor madman with political opinions. That's so crazy, man. When did this become politics? These aren't political opinions. These are just like life value beliefs. And that's the weird. The world is getting weird. That don't be a Nazi is a political opinion. Fuck, man. I'm more discussing human dynamics. Like that, it's weird that that has become politics. It's like human dynamics. Politics has become, we're allowed to take whatever we want versus, well, maybe we should work together. That's kind of what it is. Everything is politics. It's getting that way. It's getting that way where you can't argue for like basic human decency without somebody being like, oh, you're not a liberal. Liberals. Like safe spaces? You think there are 18 million genders? Nah, man. I just think maybe you shouldn't be a dick. Safe spaces. Little snowflake. Alright. Alright. Yeah.
I've never seen the Hive put locks on human doors.
Human door? Always will be about survival of the fittest. They just hide behind labels. Nocturnal. That's the thing, though. It's not about survival of the fittest. Because I guarantee you, a lot of people on 4chan aren't the fittest individuals. And if it were about survival of the fittest, they shouldn't want to bend the system in certain ways. Ah! It freaked me out. Are we striking now? Yup. How long did it take to transfer your AI from Inside Gaming's laptop into this Android shell? About a day or two. Not so bad. It's weird to me that people still remember that. Ow. I guess it was a pretty memorable bit. Why are y'all motherfuckers dying? Whoop. Maybe that's how. Oh. Just in time. I need to catch more of these streams. Do you normally do these on Friday night? Not normally, no, actually. So it's tough because it's actually kind of complicated now. I usually stream on Twitch, and usually it's on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. But in the event that Twitch is not streamable, which happens occasionally, basically if I with the internet in my area, sometimes I just can't send a reliable data stream to Twitch. I'll drop frames, I'll drop packets, and then the end result stream will be really choppy and stutter up for people. So in that event, I will switch over to YouTube, because YouTube is super reliable and can take a motherfuck of a bitrate, which is awesome.
Far better to save your life for another battle than be consumed by the Hive.
We understand, but we agreed to this mission. No one's backing
Are you okay with people calling you Larry? I don't mind.
Are you there?
People can call me whatever they like.
Please! You already took my code. Please!
That must be one of the missing Guardians. Tracing his broadcast now.
Taliban.
That actually... I mentioned this before on streams, but I went by Larry until I graduated college. And then once I got a what I would consider a real job, I was like, maybe it's time to have a much more respectable adult name. There aren't a whole lot of, like, impressive Larrys in the world.
By that crystal. That's where the broadcast came from.
Dead, bitch!
Full of void light.
What do I do with this? Oh. Oh boy. Fucking power slam that shit home.
Void light can only be created by Guardians. I don't understand how the Hive got their claws.
Cool. Oh, okay, that costs. What was the inspiration for Leisure Suit Larry? Yeah, there's that. There's the cable guy. There's this one of the Three Stooges. Man, I love this area so much. It's a shame that it has to be Hive.
This is a cap on some kind of summoning spell. The whole thing is being powered by void light. The Hive are calling something to Titan.
About Visceral? What are you going to miss about them?
Is someone there?
That's a lot of great talent that could have made a lot of great games.
Anybody in the rig listening? I swear I just heard a voice.
Who is this?
I'm just gonna keep going.
In my
talking and hope that the signal gets better.
That's kind of like me. I'm just going to keep talking and hope that somebody's listening. In my fever dreams, I imagine a world where, like, Visceral just reforms as a new studio and they get picked up by Bethesda and they make awesome single-player games that hopefully earn enough money for Bethesda to be cool with it. I don't know. Dead Space 2 is one of my favorite games. Absolutely one of my favorite games. 3 was okay. Did you get Mario? I did, Anthony. I'll probably be playing that. I'll definitely be playing that at some point tonight. Yeah, I know, Ghost. How'd they get all that void light? I know, right? Shit, bad, bad, bad. Why'd I jump down here? Oh, fuck, I got surrounded. I was stupid. Thought I was Superman for a sec. I just ran right up to him, kind of like I did. Hold on, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out, bro. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, I don't have my ability. Herp! Never mind. Fuck. This music, though. The soundtrack in Destiny 2 is ace. So is the soundtrack in Mario. So is the soundtrack in Wolfenstein. So many fucking good games. So many. Was a single-player game dying? No. No, it is not.
Still there, strangers?
It's more that
Don't break my heart here.
the big game publishers are realizing that the most money to ever earn
Thought I was gonna have to take these murders on all
is
by
in games of
myself.
service. Destiny 2, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, that sort of thing. That is where the highest amount of money exists. And they want in. They want a piece of it. EA wants a piece of it. Activision wants it. That's fine. But there is not infinite money in that space, just more money than selling a $60 single-player narrative game. Just more. And they want more money. So, they can have it. But you know what? There is still a market for single-player games. Whether that is at the tier of Bethesda putting out Wolfenstein, whether that's at the tier of a 10-man studio putting out, like, Hellblade, on Steam. Which is almost broke even, by the way. People are gonna want to make those games because people want to make those games, if that makes any sense. Like, that is art for people. They want to make those experiences. They want to share those stories with people. There's a lot of passion there. Oops. So, I don't think that there's any concern. This paranoia happened already.
A hell of a summoning ritual. Biggest shrieker I've seen in all my lives. Mark my words. Something real mean and real old is going to use that thing to lay eyes on this planet.
It was also in, like, yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. These things will still be made because there's still an audience for them. I think it's just kind of a shades of. There's like this weird growing pain happening where, for a while, single-player narrative-focused games were the biggest games in the world. That was the most highly invested game, and then people that played them felt like they were at the center of everything. Like, I am playing the biggest game, played by the most people, and they felt like, oh, I am like a gaming elite. I am in the know. I am a gaming maven. And then gaming changed. People moved on to mobile, Pokemon Go, Minecraft. Games as service, loot boxes, these things started earning more money than just throwing down $60 on a copy of Call of Duty. And then the audience that thought it was at the center of everything is no longer the most valued consumer. Damn it, they killed everything. Shit. Oh, whatever. So I think it's one of those, you had an audience that was used to being catered to and chased as a demographic. And now they're not the prettiest girl at the ball anymore. More info came about the Visceral Star Wars game. Sounded great. Enzo, it'll always sound great. Every game that's never made is always the best game ever. I need to read that. This is a Kotaku article, right? I need to read that. I haven't read it yet. No, they were probably onto something. I haven't read the article, but I had guessed previously that Disney was running the numbers, or EA specifically, and they were like, this game is not gonna make, it's just not gonna make the money we need it to make. Which, by the way, Star Wars is fucking expensive. Fucking expensive to license. Your games have to do, like, next level to warrant that. To clear money on that. I don't think Battlefront was profitable. Just based on how much it costs to license Star Wars. And I think EA was probably put behind the 8 ball a bit when they like signed their 10-year deal for Star Wars. They were salivating. They're like, oh, we got Star Wars. We're gonna make so much fucking money. And then they didn't. Or they made some money, but it wasn't the sensation they needed it to be. You still wish Prey 2 came out? It wasn't a game, Charles. You want the idea of what it was to become a game, but there's a reason it wasn't a game. Because that game specifically is hard to make. Very hard to make. Ah, you guys are on Prey 2 now. Let it go. It was never a game. It was never a game. Not even close.
Let's find Takeo.
Isn't that how the ET game failed so bad? Just the license alone? It may have been. I'm not sure. I'm not sure specifically. I know that it was like... There was basically no thought or respect paid towards development. It was just kind of considered an afterthought. So it was developed like by one dude in, what, 2 days or something? Or like 2 weeks? Something like that. That may have had something to do with it too.
Takeo, listen. We can use the crystals to disrupt the ritual.
Ooh, crystals. Where am I? Why did I fall? What's going on?
Great idea. But there aren't any powered crystals in here.
Oh, okay. We need some powered crystals. Yeah, 1313. Star Citizen. Games are awesome until they come out and they're not awesome.
Going with that plan.
Bro, can you imagine? Think about it this way. What if No Man's Sky got canceled?
Not yet.
You go back and you look at those demos and you'd be like, oh, what a game, what a game. But now that you've seen the other side of the mirror, you're like, oh, actually, wait. It was like, it was the idea, not the reality. That's what Prey 2 is. The idea of being a sweet bounty hunter in space where you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want to go, and totally hunt some cool aliens and beat Boba Fett, like, cool idea. It still wasn't a game. Star Citizen's only let down because it's taken this long. Well, that's how long games like that take to make. That's the thing. If you want to make the universe, it's going to take a while. I tell myself that's also what's going on with Cyberpunk. I hope that's what's going on with Cyberpunk. That's a big thing. Well, it's a good thing they didn't have to make a model for her.
We're going to make you proud, Takeo.
Fuck No Man's Sky, overhyped Garbo. I'm telling you, Prey 2 would have been that. There's a reason Bethesda canned it. Listen. You don't have to listen, but... So, Bethesda just put out Wolfenstein 2, right? Bethesda put out Doom. Bethesda put out Evil Within 2. Which is good, but it's not perfect. But it's pretty good, and it's fun. Look at that as... These are the projects that Bethesda will greenlight and publish. So Prey 2 was worse than that. Prey 2 was so much worse than that Bethesda decided it was not even gonna make it to be about that level of quality. They saw it. They didn't just kill it because they wanted to. They killed it because they saw it, and they were like, "This is not gonna work." There's no, like, they had no reason to cancel a game that would have made money. They had no reason to cancel a game that's fun and people would have bought. And people would have bought Prey 2 if it was sizing up correctly. So, hey, Swank Nasty? Is that your name? I think I got it. The first and last game you ever pre-ordered? Yeah. Something I think of more and more. I have to remind myself that, like, oh shit. Oh well, that works, whatever. When the No Man's Sky thing was happening, I had to remind myself that maybe not everybody had... I don't want to say had been lied to yet, but not everybody had been, like, through a PR cycle like that before. And it works. a game that pretends the world. Half-Life 3 is in the same boat. It's been so long the game would never live up to the hype. In addition to that, Valve doesn't need to make Half-Life 3 like ever. Steam brings in so much money. Yeah. We basically made all those points on our note video forever ago. Hey. Oh, it teleports. That's kind of cool. This cracked eye thing. The thing is, well, Valve used to have the talent where they could make that, but I don't know. I don't need it. Machine, like Wolfenstein 2 is as good as a Half-Life 3 would have been. Quote-unquote politics notwithstanding. Just in terms of its craft as a single-player narrative game. And also its level design. Holy shit. Level design in Wolf 2 is so good so far. Oh my god, Orbs of Light coming out. So yeah, with Evil Within 2, with Wolfenstein, with all these games coming out, it's so difficult to feel the hole in my soul. Whoa, I immediately got my... Oh, I leveled up. I immediately got a supercharge back. That's kind of cool. Nibs, you gotta stop going down, man. Fucking... Valve has glorified errand boy fulfilling orders? I mean, kinda. They invented a system. They evolved. They went from making games for a system to owning the system. Which from a business perspective is masterful. I feel like they deserve respect for that. They just used to make really great games. It's a bummer to me. I guess they lost the taste for it. I mean, they did just put out that update for Team Fortress 2, which is shocking. Phantasy Star 2? Talking about Phantasy Star 2? What is this about? You mean Star Online 2? Anybody want to hear a really bad joke? Yes! Max Sinnott. I would love to hear a bad joke. But yeah, New Order is a great game. And fucking Old Blood is really good too. What does that mean? Hey, hey! Oh, I need to get out of here. Oh, online too, okay. I'm like, man, that's a deep cut. You're talking about Phantasy Star 2. I have to power slam the thing. Oh, he's gonna get it? Alright. You power slam the thing. Fuck! I saw that one. I won't have my name on it. Alright. Power slam the thing. Jesus. Hang tight for a second. Ah, shit. Shit! Bad place to do that. Bad, bad, bad. What do you call it when Batman leaves church early? Christian Bale. Nice. That's good. I like that. Did you come up with that? Well joked, sir. I'm just gonna thank you for sharing the midnight. Been dying for some synthwave with a Vox. That was up my alley, and this is perfect. Oh, Eduardo, great. Yeah, they're wonderful. I just recently kind of learned of them. Kind of on a kick with that too. Feels good. Yeah. Give me that loot. Get out of here. You did. Blew up your big ball. I do love how strikes end in a giant treasure chest now.
Thank you.
Woo! That's a lot of stuff.
What you did today.
What does Captain America order at Starbucks? An iced Americano. Nice. Nice. What do you call a headless Batman? Christ Impale? What? Okay, okay. Getting a little out there, but okay. Hey, good job, Royal Devil. Doing the work. I made those fucking orbs, though, didn't I? Whoop, whoop. Am I playing Hot Garb right now? What are you talking about, Omar? What you talking about? What is the oldest oil in the world? Got some gear. Power level going up. Bars getting bigger. What's that? Oh, shotgun? Man. Oh, it's a far cry from the old Destiny days. Of, like, ancient Greece. Okay. That was pretty good, Numba. Also, the delivery in all caps was important, I think. Why'd the hipster burn his tongue? Hello, Saito. Welcome. Thoughts on Fortnite? It's fun. It's fun. The main game, such as it is, doesn't appeal to me much. It's pretty free to play-y. I'm kind of over that. I am... Listen, being... I keep saying listen, I should stop that. It's kind of condescending. Being the world's foremost gaming journalist has many perks. One is that I can buy games, and that's not meant to be disparaging. It's more like, personally, I prefer the content delivery method of a non-free-to-play game as opposed to a free-to-play game. Free-to-play games have certain little, like... There's certain threads they tug on that are just annoying to me. Many years of being into games, what was one game trailer that blew your mind when you saw it, and did it live up to the hype? There was that extended tech demo for Half-Life 2, and the game definitely lived up to that. Let me think. Mario, any Mario. Basically, a lot of the things Nintendo makes. I'm trying to think. You know what? One of the earliest things I remember seeing a trailer for Burnout 3. And it like had the music, it had the graphics. The thing that really blew my mind was the way that like UI would pop up on screen, like the star ratings would blink in. And at the time I was like, that has to be fake, right? Games don't look like that, do they? They can't look that cool now, can they? And then Burnout 3 came out and I was like, oh baby, it's the real thing. And that was such a shocking thing. That was also kind of in the state of games being hypersensitive about faked trailers. There was some business going on at the time.
Take care of yourself, okay?
I mean, Fortnite is terrible, and everyone around in the Battle Royale, while being pretty good at PUBG, it's different. I don't know that I'd call it terrible. Yeah, I could see how somebody might balk at it. Burnout 3 so much, peak of the series for sure. Revenge was my favorite, but yeah, Burnout 3 was great. What is your opinion on Aromaga Sensei? I only watched the first episode, and there's an anime archetype of the like beautiful, pure, but very, very brittle woman. Like a paper doll of a living human. Can't go outside, can't be around anyone who talks above like a whispered tone, or they'll just shut down. Just like a quivering bird of a creature. It was in Honey and Clover too, and I struggle to accept that character as a living thing. It just seems like that character construct is made for someone who wants that. Like you made a living doll for yourself, and that's just weird. And it's tough for me to get into any narrative that has a character like that. So I only saw the first... Oh. I don't have space. Damn.
Come see me again.
So yeah, kind of like the quote-unquote romance in Honey and Clover, it was... I had trouble getting into that, and then I also, like... Yeah, I only saw the first episode, and I was just like, I don't need this, like, semi-incest shit with this beautiful person. This beautiful person who's just so brittle and so ginger.
Come see me again.
I think Lawrence brings up his dislike for the paper doll type character every stream. Chad, do I? I didn't think it was that common, but maybe it is. Character constructs for waifu characters? Yes, exactly. What are your feelings for lore via flavor text, like in Dead by Daylight, or here? I think it's the best way to deliver lore, or Demon Souls, Dark Souls, what have you. Metroid Prime was one of the first games to really drill into lore via like flavor text. I think that's exactly where it belongs. It's there for people who want it, and they can find it if they really want it. It doesn't get in the way for people who don't. AKA Kingdom Hearts. We're gonna slam you with a 20-minute cutscene about Hearts and Heartless and Kyrie. Just like, I just want to see Disney things. Okay. Streaming for a while. Level 14. Remember what we fight for. Loot. Glittering loot. Hey. I intentionally made my character as ghoulish as I possibly could. Oh. I wanted him to look like a depressed automaton. What horror should I watch at Halloween? What flavor do you like your horror, Kinson? Do you want it to be really intense? Do you want it to be kind of goofy? FLCL is cool. I mean, it has some weird overtones too. Yeah. But I'm okay with it, because I think a lot of FLCL's weird overtones are kind of like feeling scared and intimidated by sexuality and eventually, like, not necessarily come to terms with them, but gaining some amount of understanding over it, not letting it dominate you. The Guitar Trek outro in FLCL? Yeah, man, you're talking about the pillows. It's fucking great. I have a Pillows album that I got at like an anime convention. Blap blap. And it's still one of the best things. Watch Hush on Netflix? I haven't seen Hush, but I hear it's good. I hear Jigsaw sucked. Oh man. I mean, I've only seen Saw 1, so I'm not that invested. Okay, let me think. What to play next? Not doing any more drunk gameplays? I mean, eventually. They perform really well. They drive a lot of subscribers, so... Any lesser-known game suggestions? Like, Charles, you're gonna have to narrow it down a bit. What kind of genre are you into? Give me a game and I'll tell you a game like it. Happy Death Day reminds me of that Tom Cruise movie where he dies over and over again. I don't think people know that because they're basically the same movie. Oh, they're basically the same movie. I hear you. Well, probably different tones, right? You're talking about Edge of Tomorrow / Live Die Repeat / All You Need Is Kill. I could get legendary gear if I complete one more strike. This is how they do it, though. Which level 15? Complete payback. Yeah, leap year. It's called leap year. All right. I'm trying to think of what I've got next. Are you into any roguelite or roguelikes? Yeah, I really like Spelunky. I really liked Binding of Isaac. I haven't gotten so much into some of the newer ones because there's a lot of them. Salt and Sanctuary is real good. Dead Cells is real good. Okay. I think the next game is either going to be Nier Automata or Mario. I'll take an informal poll. Just throw it out in chat, whatever your flavor is, whatever you care to look at right now. Do you want to see a shiny automata butt, or do you want to see a glistening plumber ass? I know genre mine, I like your taste. Fuck. Looks like actually kind of close to an even split, but the faster hands said Nier, so I'm gonna go with Nier. Which Mario? It would be Odyssey. But so I will play Mario. But for now I think I'll just move on to Nier. So I'm gonna be starting it. I've never played it. When Nier Automata came out, I, being an intellectual, said, you know what, I should play Nier first. And I have it. Or I have a version of it. Bought it off GameStop.com. They sent it in this wonderful collectible case. That is, yeah, there it is. So it's fun. I like it. It's actually really charming and weird. Yoko Taro, I guess, at his best, but not Automata. So I'm gonna get into that, but I'll have to switch it over and see you guys in a bit. Thanks for answering my question about Arrow manga. So Saito, yeah, should I keep watching? Because I have experience with certain anime where it starts off garbage, but then it actually becomes good. I'm learning that a lot of anime creators put all the tropes and all the bullshit in the first couple of episodes is just sort of to, like, get the anime audience in, and then once they establish that shit, then they'll sort of branch off and make the show they want. So maybe there's something to it after it stops being a little creepy incestual and paper doll waifu-y. I've watched the entire Arrow manga season, and I say no. Good. I'm glad to know I'm not missing anything. I'm almost done with, It's Sort of Shitty. Alright. Miss High School of the Dead. Man. Now that... It's fine to like High School of the Dead, but you should consider that you got some kinky shit to unpack if you're into that show. Which is cool. Which is cool. But... yeah. It gets freaky? Okay. Dragon Maid is cute. I've only seen a couple episodes, but I liked it. Anyway, the incest gets worse, and later it turns into a harem with little girls. Ugh! But is it, like, enjoyable bad, or is it just bad? Anyway, whatever. It's time for Robot. Robot Butts. Do you miss Spool? Of course. He's a nice guy. Okay. Be back. Robot Butts. See you guys soon.
You may be using one or many of your psychic abilities already in your life. You can stop this video and review it any time so that you can repeat the exercises. With repetition, you'll just get better. And you can practice these exercises every day in your daily life. If you do not get results right away, look and see where you block yourself, where your defenses or fears are coming in. Because if you're blocking yourself with me on this video, you're certainly using those same blocks in your life. This is not a class. Your abilities are already there. The results will come.
The flying saucer from Atlantis reappears in a Magic's next game cartridge, Cosmic Ark, which, as you may have guessed from its title, presents the mission of visiting different planets in the galaxy and retrieving a pair of creatures from each for the repopulation of Atlantis. We can only assume these creatures to be one male, one female. There are two types of screens in Cosmic Ark, which alternate throughout the game. First, the player ship is besieged on four sides in space by meteors. When the meteor shower is over, the Ark appears above a planet. This first planet has no defensive system, so retrieving both creatures with your tractor beam should be no problem. With the second creature safely aboard, head back to the Ark. Then it's off into space for another meteor shower. The defensive system on all subsequent planets fires a horizontal laser every 2 seconds across the screen. If your saucer gets zapped, you've got to try again. When you hear this warning sound, head back for the ship. It will beep 8 times, and then a single meteor will appear to destroy the Ark if you are not back inside. Anytime you retrieve just a single creature, you'll be placed back on the same planet after the meteor shower, and there will be just one creature left there to retrieve. Remember which side it will be on. Sure, the little creatures in this game are cute, but they're fast, too. You've got to psych them out with this super strategy by boxing them into a corner with a series of quick maneuvers like this. Move, send down a beam,